Eric Lyncher.
Sounds like Xavier.
Go fuck yourself.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and we are fully on our way to Christmas now. It is the 17th on the recording day. I don't know when this video will be out, and I'm gonna apologize again for the schedule. It is incredibly hard to get videos recorded, edited and uploaded, as well as doing my schoolwork. It is stress like you wouldn't believe amongst my own mental health, and it's just difficult, you know. I need to do well in school, you know, but I record when I want to because I enjoy it, but obviously it can be hard work, so I have to take time to myself anyway. But I imagine you guys understand. Anyway, like I say, well in our way to Christmas Day, and so it's only right to talk about some Christmassy stuff. I hopefully have a video coming out on Christmas Day. If not, it'll be around that time, talking about a bit of a special like I did for Halloween, but today we have one of our general reviews for Doctor Who: The Christmas Invasion, and there will be spoilers if you have not seen this episode of the show. So this was the first of multiple Christmas specials, and it had a mighty fine task really, but I really enjoyed this episode. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I have a slight soft spot for these Christmas specials in Doctor Who. I just find them a fun time. They were something me and my family would sit down and watch every year, and Doctor Who is the show we all watch together. We don't really watch anything else together now, me and my family, but Doctor Who is the one thing that brings us all together, and these Christmas specials were just a nice thing. And obviously we still do it on New Year's, but it's a shame we can't do that on Christmas anymore. But as long as the New Year specials are still good, like Resolution was in my opinion, then that's going to be the main thing. So this was the introduction to David Tennant's Doctor, potentially the most famous Doctor, most recognisable, and it's a great introduction, there's no other way to say it. It's a bold decision to keep this Doctor's first story, and keep this Doctor in bed for a lot of it, but I think it really works, because it makes every second of when the Doctor is up doing his whole doctory stuff, it makes it so much more memorable and more meaningful and more important, which leaves a bigger impression on myself and the audience, and just obviously that leaves David Tennant with a bigger task, and he absolutely nails it, as he does in pretty much every episode of this show that he was in.
I'm having a neural implosion. I need...
What do you need? Just say it. Tell me. Painkillers? Do you need aspirin? Codeine? Paracetamol? Oh, I don't know. Pepto-Bismol? Liquid paraffin? Vitamin C? Vitamin D? Vitamin E? Is it food? Something simple. Bowl of soup? Nice bowl of soup? Soup and a sandwich? Oh, soup and a little ham sandwich?
I need you to shut up.
Oh, I guess I changed that much, see?
And plus, it makes the climax really, really fun, with the Doctor getting out of bed with that "Did you miss me?" scene. It's a great scene. We get a great first taste of what is to come in the best era of the show, in my opinion. This is the first example of the greatness that we're going to get over the next few years in the following seasons.
I can hear English. And it's being translated. Which means it's working. Which means...
Did you miss me?
And you, Rose Tyler, fell how good you were, you gave up on me. Oh, that's rude. That's the sort of man I am now, am I rude?
Demand to know who you are! I don't know!
See, that's the thing. I'm a doctor, but beyond that, I just don't know. I literally do not know who I am. It's all untested. Am I funny? Am I sarcastic? Sexy?
What I really like about this episode is that we see the consequences of the Doctor's life, because we've had one full series now of the Doctor and Rose going on their adventures, and we do dive into a little bit of it in The Aliens of London. Is it World War III, the Slithian two-parter, which was a bit of a letdown, if I'm honest. It's not the greatest two-parter, but yeah, we see a bit of the Doctor's effect there, but we get a bit of a better, more realistic take on it here, I feel. It adds a lot of emotion. We see the consequences of travelling with the Doctor. We see Rose's reaction to his change, and there's nothing they can do about that. That is who the Doctor is, and it's going to happen again eventually. And Rose absolutely breaks down. We see the impact of how it's changed Rose, how she is almost addicted to that lifestyle, how she doesn't want to go back to being a human, and how that affects her family who love her, Jackie and Mickey. and this would be explored later on, in particular Series 2 with Sarah Jane in the school reunion, but it would look at it multiple other times with Clara and multiple other companions, and I appreciate that in the show. It would do it with Martha as well, and it does it with pretty much all of them, but this was the first kind of hint I felt. Obviously we get to know Rose in Series 1 and get to care about her and the Doctor's relationship, but we don't see true consequences and the effects of travelling with him. It does a really good job of bringing the gap between 9 to 10, and it makes it clear that while this is a new face of the show, this is a new man, it's also still the same man on the inside. He acts different, he looks different, but it's still the Doctor, and this is still Doctor Who. It makes that very clear through many visual techniques, from editing, from the entire vibe. Obviously it's somewhat themed about Christmas, obviously it's somewhat themed around Christmas, but it doesn't take away from the episode. It doesn't feel forced. Sure, it doesn't really need to be set on Christmas, but that's kind of what annoys me at why they aren't set on Christmas anymore. Like, there wasn't much pressure anyway, just add a bit of snow at the end. But no, it really doesn't take away, it doesn't matter to me that it's on Christmas, but it's just, it really doesn't matter. As far as the plot goes, it's fine. It's not particularly investing emotionally, but it's interesting enough to keep me watching, and the Sycorax are a great antagonist. They are amazing looking aliens. I love them so much. How it looks like they've got bone and muscle on the outside, and it's just a really creative design. It's just how they act, how they talk, how they look, all of it. It's really good stuff. The final sword fight at the end is incredibly frustrating for me. It starts off pretty good, pretty like, oh, we're going to get a pretty good action scene. This Doctor is going to be more of a hero, which obviously is kind of the case with Tennant's Doctor. But as a start-off fight scene here, this isn't great. They start using choppy slow motion, which is just ugly in most movies, I think. And then the Doctor's hand getting cut off is obviously kind of an iconic scene. It links into Torchwood, links into Series 3, and then Series 4. It's important to the show, that moment, and it is a pretty great moment. It's executed fairly well, but there is a small mistake which is such a distraction after you notice it, so I apologise if you haven't noticed it, but it's kind of unmissable, I think. But when his hand gets cut off, every time it cuts to him regrowing his hand, he's got like a green screen background behind him, and it kind of switches between the Doctor having the ship behind him and having just the sky behind him, and it is incredibly distracting and takes him right out of this otherwise fairly solid action scene. Like, just it really lets down as the climactic sequence of the episode. All in all, this episode had to be a lot more than a fun Christmas special, which would kind of be what a lot of the other ones would turn into. Definitely the David Tennant ones, other than The End of Time. But yeah, and in my opinion, it was a fun Christmas special, as well as everything else it needed to be. But it didn't try to be anything special. It was Doctor Who, and I always have a fun time with it. I give The Christmas Invasion a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the Christmas Invasion episode in the comments below. I'm very interested to hear your ideas. Again, apologies for the upload schedule, but there's really not much I can do about it unless I fail my GCSEs, and that's not ideal. But yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.